Memorable career moment, man. In all honesty, man, we really starting up the gears, man, and kind of getting this thing off the ground. Yeah, when I first went viral, I think when I first went viral, I had been doing a lot of, open mics, poetry sets and things of that sort, doing, music in front of my friends and my family. And most times, in these small, intimate spaces, people will gas you up, like, to make you feel good so that you can, have the confidence that you need. But when I first went viral, I went viral on Facebook when it was kind of relatively easy to go viral on Facebook like it is kind of on TikTok. And to see the comments and the responses from people all over the world pretty much stamped it. Oh, right here, my bad. Pretty much stamped it and verified for me that I had a gift, that I had a talent. And it was more so like, man, I appreciate you, friends and family, for the support, but the validation that I was kind of looking for from the world to confirm that I actually had something, I got when I first went viral. So yeah, going viral, 2015, I think, on Facebook. Memorable studio moment. The first time I was actually in the studio with my father, I was 8 years old. He had given me a poem to write called Dear Dad. I was so small that I couldn't stand up to the mic. He had me in his arms. I think I was in his arms or sitting on his lap. And, I was in the studio and I laid down. I don't know if I was one take Jake, man, but I think I knocked it out relatively fast. And yeah, that was my first time being introduced to, the studio world and the recording artist life. So yeah, for sure. So effort moment in my career, relatively recently, I've been independent for a long time, getting it off the muscle in the community, in the streets, putting up my own money, putting my own funding behind my gifts and my abilities by God's grace. So it was nothing for me to go viral. I can go viral whenever I want, right? But going viral and streaming well, that's not necessarily what pays the bills and brings the capital in so that you can sustain yourself off of your art. There's a lot of people that got hundreds of thousands of views and they've gone viral. But I know personally from being in the trench and just being an artist myself, you could have 100,000 followers, millions of views and still be, financially struggling, right? So I got to the point where I'm like, man, I'm viral. I got a lot of notoriety, but I'm not getting a lot of shows. I'm not getting booked. My name is all over the place, but I got to feed my family. I got to eat. And I don't believe in no spook God or no mist falling out of the sky to put you in position. I believe that, you got to go and get it for yourself. So after going viral and in my mind expecting for opportunities to start flowing in and then realizing that that wasn't the reality, my effort moment was me telling myself, I got to create a table for myself, right? I got to create stages for myself and put myself on those stages. And when the world recognize, who Goalden Chyld is, they'll recognize. But that was the moment. So I started throwing my own shows, my own unity concerts where we incorporated the community, but I was the headlining artist, right? And then we had sub headliners, started throwing community events because as an artist, man, it's challenging when you're getting it off the muscle to really sustain yourself. And I said, nah, man, if I sit around waiting for somebody to put me on these big stages and give me these platforms and these interviews, I'm going to be waiting all day or maybe for the rest of my life. So that was it, man. I started creating opportunities for myself. Yep. This era that by God's grace, I believe I'm spearheading and creating because I believe it's going to be an era whereas it's balanced, right? You can talk about the trench experience, man. You can talk about what you came through, but you also got to find a way to weave in the solutions, right? Weave in the positivity. And I think we've seen enough of what took place with negativity being out in the forefront for us to come to realize that we can't just tell the sad stories. We got to start talking about the positive stories. And if we're going to tell the sad stories, we got to weave the truth in there. Whereas when children in the world listen to it, they say, man, that's not the life I want to live. You see what I'm saying? So I really believe this is the beginning of a new era. War cries, the beginning of a new era. We living in a time whereas like hip hop is about to go to the next level. Because I've never believed that there was a problem with the brothers, in the trench telling these stories that they telling today. Like, I mean, oftentimes it's reflective of what we actually experience, right? And you may not like how vulgar it sounds, but when you in them trenches, like this stuff is really happening, right? But at the same token, it's one thing to talk about the problems, but you got to talk about the solutions. So I think it's going to be a healthy era where, Everybody is together. We all united. We come together. We not judging each other and condemning each other for being too quote unquote positive or too negative. I think it's just going to be a healthy balance where, hip hop is what it's supposed to be. Next year around this time, where will I be? Top of the charts. One of the biggest names, household name, up there with the greats, man. Really iconic activities going on. People trying to figure out where this guy came from. But I've been grinding my whole life, so I'm not just an industry plan or nothing like that. I've been working. But yeah, next level. This is Goalden Chyld, and this is my interview with 24/7 HH, the best to do it. You know.